StarCraft Evolution Complete, the mod for StarCraft 2, which is currently developed by the Corprulo sector team, I think. And in the top left we've got Ragnarok, aka Shin. I'm not sure if he's back to his ID Ragnarok here, but yeah, he has been using that. And in the top right it is Classic here as the purple Protoss player. So Protoss 2 for Classic against Shin, who has to play his Brood War. Why do I say has to play? Well, because basically SC2 players, professionals, they want to play their race, right? They do prefer, unless they see some extreme overbalance, they want to play their race, like with the one they're most familiar with. Now this is a pylon block. This is a very good scout, lucky scout kind of here for Classic in a way. And he did get the pylon up, so he did actually let that finish. And yeah, Ragnarok, exactly, this is what I wanted to see him do. Basically is you're just gonna throw down your hatchery, where you want to put down the forward hatchery anyways for the wall, so you can start long distance mining. But you can also just get the creep out there, and you will be able to start that wall. You need that production up and running. And yeah, it's kind of a necessary move. It's a little bit of a sacrifice you have to do there. You could have like tried a different walling position. I guess this is a really good, like at the entrance for the natural, so it's very tough to actually grab a different one. And he went into a fast pool here. I guess kind of was forced to, but he's gonna have a few links, so they will start to break down the pylon here very soon. He did not pull any drones to work on this room. Remarkably enough here. On the other side, you're gonna see that first adept, Cybernetics goes done. Is he going to throw down a Stargate? Would be a little bit surprising to me, but that might be what's coming down here. Actually, the build from Classic is not that well timed. If you look at the things, he might have slipped a little bit in the macro, or maybe it was that pylon that he invested in. Now he also throws down a Cybernetics core here, and it seems the Cybernetics core is just barely gonna have enough health to keep on making for almost its full direction here. There's gonna be the hatchery finally come down, but yeah, we will see him start to long distance mine a little bit. It's not the worst, at least it's like something, right? It's definitely not good, but it could be worse. Now there's gonna be that Stargate from Classic. Kind of expecting to see some oracles here. Are gonna be very, very good against these links, as they are light and biological. Oh, I really wonder, like, they can hide in these vision blockers, and I wonder how it works for the Stargate units, like air units, if they can actually hit them. Wow, man, they break through these buildings so fast, it's insane. It's like you have adrenaline links. They attack faster, so it's like you have adrenaline for your links immediately here. Breaks down that pylon at the entrance and forces another gateway wall. So we're gonna see another pylon here, maybe. Yeah, he will add in another pylon. This is a big opening, and honestly a very ugly one. Like, this is gonna be rough. If you mix a robo over here, for example, it has to walk all the way with the mortals outside or something. It's gonna be not that great. Same for Colossi. Oracle gonna come in here, is gonna get 2 drones, and then the Spore is gonna say hello. Friend, have you already tasted this green ball that I have prepared for you? And yeah, so of course we do see the spy here for Ragnarok, so he could go into a couple of Scourge just to snipe down the oracles. They might not be able to be fast enough to catch them immediately, but if he sets up a very smart small trap, he could probably catch them rather effortlessly. Also, you're not really that much babysitting those. You're kind of... Oh yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's a terrible wall, man. Look at this. 2 adepts getting killed off. Your oracles need to come back. Oh man, he almost loses 1 to that Spore. Then he has to recall. Links are still in the base. He kills the first probe. He's gonna go for the adepts again. I'm not sure if I like this choice, honestly. Yeah, just go into the mineral line. Even though the oracles are here now. He gets a good scout. He spends a lot of energy on the oracles. And yeah, you don't want to run into those adepts just standing there on the wall. Even kills another probe. Really nicely done. Still has an Overlord sitting over here. That's funny. It's very tough to see even on the minimap because it's so far up in the top right corner. Now we will see a bunch of Mutalisks. No Scourge yet, so he's not gonna try and chase down his oracles with Scourge. He's rather just gonna kill some probes and then he will try to get them on the way out, basically. That's the idea. But yeah, he has these spores, of course. The mutants are coming in right now. They're starting to decimate the probes. That's really nice. And he's still only making mutants. Oh man, that Archon. That looks kind of cool in pink, I've got to say, or purple or whatever. Damn, is he gonna kill it before it finishes? Almost! He almost gets it. So the Archon does finish. The ship battery is gonna keep it alive for a moment longer. The Phoenix does spawn here, and a few Stalkers do get warped in. This is almost snowballing here for Ragnarok. Remember these mutants, they have superior range, I'm pretty sure. So the Phoenix is sitting on 5 range. The Mutas, they also have 5 range, but you need to come back here. There is no wall. There's 3 Zealots and a couple of Adepts. This could be a lot of dead drones. The drones need to fight the Adepts here. That's a very nice surround there. Really good pull and good surround. He still loses so many to the Zealots though. The drones and the Zealots and the Naturals haven't been pulled. 9 drones do fall. That's a lot of counter damage. And in the meantime, we did not lose the Phoenix, so he's stacking up the Phoenix count. He's getting more Stalkers out. He doesn't have Blink. He is not gonna be close to Blink anytime soon. But he needs to get that Phoenix count up and running. Now remember, these Phoenix and these Mutas specifically, they do have the same range. Both are sitting at 5 range. That's big, by the way, also why these Mutas are doing so well. 5 range is insane. It's like they almost Stalker range, right? They have 6 range, but yeah. These Mutas all shoot at once, and like you only have 2 or 3 Stalkers shooting back at them. And if the Phoenix ever shoot, well, the Mutas can just turn and shoot as well, so... Fly attacks does finish up. Carapace would have been better even against these. Man, he brings in a Ling there as a diversion. He gets almost one of the Phoenix there. And he's just stacking Mutas. They're fine. My god, man, that looks so crazy with that range on the Mutas. No, of course, the Phoenix do have 2 attacks, so if you would have gone for the armor, you might have been even better at trading against the Phoenix here. Classic keeps on losing the vision on those and is moving out a little bit too forward with the Phoenixes. Will pay with one, even though we heard the teleportation was successful. No, it wasn't successful. It was necessary because you just lost another one. Okay, so got the +1 on the way, halfway and done. But on the other side, we are starting our transition into the Hydralisk. There's going to be an evolution chamber block, so he might want to utilize Nidus Worms, but that's Hive Tech, so I'm not really sure if this is just a temporary thing and he's going to kill this eventually. Just to have it right now. He needs to fix up his saturation here. He's still sitting on 1 drone in his gas, for example. 2 out of 2 here on those geysers. And he does have enough gas right now. But that's definitely something he wants to fix in the close future. Going up to 3 bases, but not done yet. So currently Classic has a very good economic situation going on for himself. But these Mutas, they can just become so efficient. There's gonna be that push though, so this wall was intentional. I guess he just broke it down a little bit too early. You will be able to push out though and fight this. But you can't really attack with the Mutas until these Archons are gone. And he's splitting off some Zeds. Yeah, that's a free kill on this base. There's no way you can save that. We need to be so careful there. So the Archons do only have 3 range. And 5 range on the Mutas, that's quite long. So they can really, if micro perfectly, absolutely outrange these Archons. Permanently as well. Storm on the way here now for Classic, and he just pokes out the 3rd and goes back. I think that's a really good choice. Oh, losing the Muta, sorry, losing that. Phoenix is not a good choice though, but he's gonna lose another one. So honestly, like getting the Phoenix with no range, that was really a bad move there in the end here for Classic, so yeah. Ragnarok microing this quite nicely, and that's the thing he needs to do, because he got his third delayed. He's gonna throw down another hatchery in the main base. That's not gonna increase your mining, it's not gonna give you any excess minerals or resources. You can eventually, if you run out, gobble up. Oh boy, that one shot. I think it's gonna be that hatchery coming up. So the Ling sees the third base, but so many meters going down at this stage. He's actually remaking meters and remaking Phoenix against us. That's kind of crazy to see, but yeah, with so many meters going down, it feels like this is not really going away here for Ragnarok. He's transitioning to more Lurker Hydra, now adding in a few links as well, but he needed that double expand, honestly, at this stage of the game. I don't think one expand is going to keep you in the game. Like in the mid game, there's going to be eventually a very, very scary Protoss push once that base is up and running. Right now, this is scary, but it's only 4 Templars, right? But if this gets like a War Prism and has 12 gates behind it, well, that's gonna be super scary when you suddenly have to like 24 zealots coming in 2 warping rounds to reinforce. That could be the ugliest thing that can happen here to Shin. Oh, he gets hit by another Archon shot there, and Phoenix coming. And remember, he made a few more muters, so unfortunately that gamble did not pay off. He's gonna just sacrifice them here, and Phoenix are gonna finish this off. But now we do have Lurker, Hydra, Ling on the ready. He needs to move that Lurker. He needs to move that Lurker. He needs to move that Lurker. He's just gonna tank the damage, which is never great, of course. We are starting to cycle out of storms here, though. He still has a couple high templates which are pretty full on HP. Sorry, on mana. And Ragnarok is having a tough time to find the correct position. There is no detection, by the way. Only the Oracle. Oh, that one Templar is very forward. That has 200 energy, only 25 HP remaining. We do see more and more Templar reinforcing, though. And this kind of bottleneck here being created in the left position here right now. It's just too tough to get through for Ragnarok here. Classic is kind of just holding position and killing everything in the natural with a couple zealots and an Archon. Now finally Ragnarok is managing to break through here, but that took so long. He already lost so much, and on top of that, he really got his pants handed to him, I guess. There you go. His pants. It's fine. I wanted to say something stronger, but I'm not sure if I'm allowed to on YouTube. Whoa! So now we go into Ruby Rock. It's gonna be the next map, map number 2 here. And we do swap. We do see the reverse. It is gonna be Ragnarok, aka Shin, here in the top left as SC2 Zerg. And in the bottom right, we've got Classic as SC Brood War Protoss playing this one. Throw down a pylon, gonna pull back the probe. Is this gonna be a Nexus first? I don't think so. And Ragnarok might just do... Oh, this might be OP, honestly. I'm not really sure if I've seen this yet. But you kind of need a cannon rush against this. But you're not gonna go cannon, you're gonna go gateway. So what are you gonna make? A zealot? You don't have the chrono boost, that's the issue. I feel like if you don't get a forge... Oh, can he make the Nexus before the drone comes in to make the hatchery? Oh, he makes his own hatchery! So he misses the timing he needed to make that hatchery first. Now he can still make a proxy hatchery, but it's gonna be either just a push hatchery, like for a creep and the things, the tentacle shooter thing, god, spine crawlers, or he just makes something in the wall to create an entrance. Now he will not be able to block the Nexus, and that was a very early drone being pulled. He can't just only walk into the main, can he? Now if he decided to go directly into the natural and instantly block it with a drone, he would have gotten it. And then imagine as the Nexus first player, you coming down there and there being a hatchery while you sit at 400 minerals. That's such a terrible situation you're going to be finding yourself in. It's a very terrific thought there. Unfortunately, Ragnarok decided to go hatch first in his own natural, so he does not get up the miracle block here. And remember, there's no chrono boosts for these zealots, so they have to completely build through. If you don't have the forge, you can add cannons. Would have been a disaster of a start, honestly. So Classic being able to avoid that, I think, is really good for him. Maybe he has a good shot at a nice timing attack here. It's a best of 5, by the way, and we're looking at a 1-0 for Classic. Okay, let's fix that up. Well, yeah, let's see what he can do here in this game. I feel like I like the idea of being Classic a little bit better right now, or at least in his shoes here. I feel like he has a very slight bit of advantage, just the way things pan out to be. There was a few decisions that ended up being well or better, I feel like, for Classic by both players. Two links here on the prowl and waiting for the probe to come in, and as soon as it shows its metallic face, it's gonna get chased down. Now a couple of flanking links do come in. One is gonna hit it. Is he gonna scratch the surface though eventually? The queen is gonna assist. Can they get through the shields? Only 3 do remain. Back to 6, so even one hit would not do the trick right now. There he goes. Oh, it's so close. Okay, so he crashes the surface. 16 HP. But we're still running here as the probe is. Finally, the drone does get pushed out, but it actually will grab an extractor. Not that this is a very necessary structure right now or resource for Classic. So it's just gonna stay there for a while and give some additional vision, I guess. But honestly, you just let it finish. Oh, come on. Is he gonna try to take the different one? I guess he gets the scout that there's still no second gas on that, or third gas I should say. Are we gonna see shuttle speed here? Was that seen by the drone? Maybe. Okay, so he sees the robo. But yeah, this could be a moment where you could become overconfident as a Zerg player if you see like his tech is so late and you're like, oh yeah man. Oh yeah man, amen. There's nothing going on, so we can drone for a long time and then suddenly the Reaver shows up and the speed shuttle is gonna bombard all of your queens and drones, and then you're just lying there in the dirt trying to pick up the pieces of your base and your build. We do have one single Reaver so far. Could go into another one. Kind of coming back with the shuttle, which is interesting. Did he cancel shuttle speed? I think he cancelled shuttle speed. So that's interesting. He was making shuttle speed, this one. I saw it. We did click on it. And then he cancels that and goes into Corsair production. Now he's expecting mutas. Did he see the Spire? Actually did not. This is like the read. I'm not sure why he has the read. Maybe it's the expansion timing that kind of shows it. But this is the god tier read. And honestly, a speed shuttle against Mutalisks just wouldn't do that much for you. Also, it might just be because you're expecting mutas to play against the Reaver, or the mutas to come out against the Reaver because of your opponent, and you know that he has been scouting and he saw that. So that could be the other kind of school of thought here. Now let's see how these mutas are going to do. Corsairs do not work like Phoenix. They're actually better because they do have a 0.35 attack speed, they do 5 damage, and they do AoE. So it doesn't look strong what they do, but it actually is insanely strong. kind of interesting if you think about the concept of AoE and how StarCraft Brood War did manage to have 3 air units for 3 different races, which all operate differently and all have their kind of AoE. You have the Mutalisk, of course, which has a kind of single target attack into the triple bounce. Right? Oh, these have 3 range, so the 5 range mutas are insanely strong. So you got like the Mutalisk, right, with a bounce attack with the glaive. So that's kind of a cleave. It is kind of an AoE, which has a incredible fast maneuverability and very sharp turns. Then you've got the Corsairs, which are a tiny bit more sluggish in the turning, but they do have a shot that does connect on top of a target and creates an AoE damage radius around its target, which is also a very interesting concept. And then you've got the Terran, right, with that Valkyrie. Oh god, are we gonna see a kill move here? This is gonna be so difficult to stop. If you can get the couple of Reaver shots, oh god! The Banelings running into this army doesn't really make that much sense. The Mutas do come back to clear the Reavers. He does get rid of most of this army, but wow, that was actually a really strong push. Could have worked if we see a few links reinforced though. All of these goons just might fall. The Mutas have been cleared out, so that threat is gone. The Corsairs, they are still standing strong here. They should probably go aggressively and kill Overlords. And why is that, you ask? Because if we look at the queen count, I'm sure there is none. Because he bombarded all of the queens to dust. And he's kind of just using them as tanks here in this engage for his goons. And goons against Hydra are actually not that bad. But he will start to run out of units here and loses the last Corsair as well. Remember the units inside these bushes, they do get not only the vision bonus, so you're not able to see them, but they also do get a 50% miss chance against them. So if if like a goon shoots at a Hydra that's hiding in the bush, he's only gonna hit 1 out of 2 shots, and that's a lot actually, a lot of damage denied. And it's an RNG based system, so it's not like halving the damage by 50%, it's halving the connections by 50%, so that might, if you get lucky, avoid the damage for like 3 minutes, or if you get really unlucky, it doesn't do anything. It's just a couple connects and then it's gone. The Dragoons do not shoot fast, so that's why, one of the reasons why these kind of side blockers and the high ground, why they're having such a high time, oh my god, why they do have such a difficult time pushing against a ramp or something on the high ground, because the goon attack speed is just so slow, they just don't do it. Now Ragnarok is gonna try again here. These links might be for a flank, but I kind of think those are gonna try to go into the natural to bombard that mineral line, which should be overflowing with probes right now. Oh, he's just coming from the north. He is gonna try to connect on all of these goons. Can he get rid of these Reavers? He does kill the shield batteries. This is such a nice arc here. All of the Reaver shots are kind of stacked. Definitely a big mistake here from Classic. That might have been actually the game-breaking mistake, while you had 3 Reaver shots all on top of each other. It's like you have 3 Disruptor Novas which are going all on the same Marauder, right? Or like Hydra, I should say, because you only need 1 connection to kill a Hydra. But he completely overkilled that. And yeah, that's gonna be it. Ragnarok is gonna take map number 2 here. Ruby Rock. Very well done by him. So let's see what's gonna come next here. I expect, of course, Classic to go back to picking SC2. That means Ragnarok SHIN has to play Boozer. You can watch replays of your games to learn how to play better the game. How to play the game. How to better play the game. There you go. You can also watch replays of your own streams to learn how to better read. Okay, so there we go, 1-1 situation here, and that is the Brood War SC1 Brood War Zerg for Ragnarok and SC2 Protoss here for Classic. Now the map is interesting. It's a mothership, it's a 3-player map. Classic is gonna get lucky with the scout here. What a lucky dude. And Ragnarok most likely will not get the knight though. That's very good for him. Remember the first game, he got denied his hatchery, and that was a very big deal actually. He went into a very super fast, or like a late pool, kind of a delayed pool to make up for that, but that was just too slow. And everything just kind of fell apart, even though he had a very good time with the Mudister for a moment. It just wasn't the snowball that he was looking for. Wasn't really able to get that going. Now I wonder how strong offensive hatcheries for Brood War against SE2 are. I feel like with the missing macro mechanics for the Brood War races, even though I know they have better mining to make up for that, like having no orbital, no lava injects or no chrono boost, I just feel like these missing macro mechanics, they kind of cut extremely heavily into your early game, so everything is gonna be super committed with nothing really to try and catch up there and make up for it if you just spend it better than your opponent, right? You can't spend lava better than your opponent, or I guess injects better than your opponent, or inject nicer than your opponent, because, well, there's no injects. You gotta spend the normal lava. And that's a very straightforward way of doing this. Now, you can't really try to catch up in probes, because, well, you can only just make probes, right? You can't even chrono boost them, you can't focus all of your energy on that. That's the brutal Protoss. And of course, as a Terran, well, there's nothing to be done, because you can literally just make SCVs. You have no money or no energy, no orbital to drop a mule. You can drop scans if you want to, but that's about it. So I feel like the early game being different for Brood War is just rougher in general. And SC2 can kind of make things happen with their macro mechanics. They have a catch-up moment or break time. There's the Hydra there. The first adept is gonna get over here, but I entry deny. The Hydra is gonna fully block this. Is he eventually gonna kill a Hydra? Then that would be kind of crazy. He also can't get out with the legs. He's not gonna cancel Hydra then, right? Doesn't make any sense. I guess you just let it finish, you make a Hydras, and then... yeah, there it is. He makes the upgrades, and I think eventually, once you push out, you kill it. Something like that, probably. There's another hatchery in the main base here, so going up to 4 hatcheries. Now, since there's no transfuse, eventually the building is gonna run out of health. But before that, there's gonna be the first Hydra shooing away at these adepts. But this is a very peculiar moment, because you kind of want to deal with the adepts, but you also need to defend against the oracles, so you cannot have a Hydra just stand over there. Decent drive-by is gonna get 2 drones. Is he gonna snipe them down with the Oracle? Well, it would be only 1 lava, so honestly. There's a second Oracle joining in here, but we're already kind of being pushed away there by these Hydras on the high ground. And he will break through that Hydra then. Oh! He made drones on the outside. Temple Archives on the way here. Classic's moving in again with these oracles, not finding any angle of attack. Now, as I said, Temple Archives, extra gates, and charges on the way. I don't think we do have blink, no. Immediately going for charge there, so skipping on to that blink. Not gonna be a Stalker Boy today. We have the third base coming down here for Classic as well. Is Ragnarok gonna make a third eventually? He has the money for it right now. He could go out with a drone, just set up a location for himself, and that's exactly what he's gonna do here. Wait, what? Did he just cancel that? There's a robo and the gate coming in here. More and more gates being fired up. You see the Archons morphing. Nice kills on the Oracles. I think he's gonna get both of them. Definitely worth it here for Ragnarok. Even though the meters themselves, they still need to do more to pay for themselves. This is not looking like a great army here, but it's actually a very particularly strong task force in dealing with Mutalisks. A Phoenix for the range. An Archon if they get into close for the Icarus move. He's gonna be the sun that burns everything. And then you have a few Stalkers to try and punish any mutas that want to hit and run. So pretty good composition against anti-muta, or against muta I should say, but there's nothing that can work well against Hydras right now. And thus we see double evolution chamber and Hydra is down on the way here. I hope we're gonna see this lurker aspect. And I have to say, one thing I wanted to be a little bit critical about is Ragnarok hasn't really been trying to get that much probe damage here, but finally he's gonna kill 7 probes. Getting that shoot battery would have been nice. He's not gonna get that one. Now, round upgrades coming in here for Ragnarok, and he does complete the flyer attacks, even though he doesn't really. Oh, he actually has a good bunch of meters here. Let's be careful though. Going all quite low. 12 meters. Can you get these 3 Phoenix? That would be insane. Double Stargate, that's also kind of insane, I gotta say. Don't see this every day. The other side, 4th base is gonna be taken here. Meters again coming in here, sniping 1 probe. Not doing too much. Of course, Storm is done, so need to be careful here as Ragnarok. If you fly too close and eat a couple Storms, eat an Archon shot, and then eat like a couple of Phoenix hits, it's gonna be over. Now we do see the double Stargate, we do see the Phoenix commitment. We do see the plus air weapon attack upgrade. When are we gonna see the fleet beacon? When are we gonna see the range? Because that's when they will just become so overpowered against the meters again. Currently it's, I think, 6 range against 5 range. Maybe it's 5 against 5. It's actually 5 against 5, but that would be 6 against 5. It's a range advantage. You kind of need to stack those again, bro. Classic. He's just making Phoenix, just thinking like, alright, I can handle this. It might not happen, because if you don't get the correct engage, the mutas do have an AoE, as I said earlier. They do have the glaive attack that does bounce to 2 additional targets. That means if you have the same amount of mutas and same amount of Phoenix just sitting at each other and fighting each other, the fight should eventually shift in favor of the mutas. Now also the Phoenix do attack twice to get out their full damage. That means that the armor reduction, oh my effing lord. Oh no. Oh god. So the armor upgrade does get applied twice here. The armor gets applied twice, yeah, but doesn't even matter if you just kill them with Archons. No, I like the idea. Phoenix are actually not that great against Hydras that are picked up, because even though the Hydras do have very low health, they don't have the light tag, so the Phoenix don't get the bonus damage. That's why I don't like this full commitment here. And honestly, Ragnarok should just ignore those. Should just try to push in, keep on going with his original plan, because there's nothing these can do really. Like, you can throw down a spore here or there to keep yourself safe. You just throw down more drones, and you just don't chase them. You try to attack with the timing you might have had. Now the timing window is closing. We do see more and more Templars starting to generate some energy here. And yeah, things are just not looking good for our Brute Protoss. At least they shouldn't. And they are actually really good again. A Phoenix coming in here. I'm gonna snipe a few drones. Not too many though, only 5 going down. And it seems like Ragnarok is gearing up for another attack. Oh, he killed that Overlord so hard. God, that could be a massive storm. I'm gonna see a couple decent ones, but really good dodges here actually by Ragnarok. The issue without any banelings is that you don't have any banelings. That means he has a tough time on just going in, because he needs all of his units to kind of connect correctly. And banelings, they can't just walk through the army. They're gonna be killed off by the army themselves. And that's when they correctly do connect. So it's not that difficult to control this army if you only control one. But if you try to split in two, the story might be different. We're gonna see a flank here from the north. The top ram is gonna come in and yeah, destroy these lurkers here. Very nicely done. But it's not out of the woods yet. It feels like Ragnarok is kind of starting to get a good foothold on this map. He's more and more aggressively going into his upgrades, but he needs something else. He needs some more bases going for himself, because 4 base against 4 base should not be manageable long term. That's a massive army though. Wow. Let's have a look at the Hydra count. Is it 60 in 4? That's like, he has made so many Hydras, it's like they are Marines. So they do have way more HP than a Marine. They have better damage than a Marine. Oh my god. The Marine of the Zerg, can it win this fight? My god. Oh, that storm. Wow. So all of these 60 Hydras, they just died. GG is called. And Classic is gonna take map number 3. Alright guys, there we are back here. To continue this best of 5 between Ragnarok playing as the Brute War, sorry, as the SE2 Zerg this game. Of course, going back to SE2. And in the center left position, it is Classic playing as the Brood War Protoss. Now, we have an interesting map here. It's a 3-player map. It has a rotational symmetry. And both players are scouting in the correct locations. Now in this particular position, it feels like it might be better for Ragnarok. But I'm not exactly sure, but just Ragnarok kind of is gonna keep on expanding away from his opponent if he just goes down that path. Where he is already setting up his 3rd base right now, or the natural you should say. The 2nd base I guess, not the natural. And on the other side, I'm gonna get a little bit of a kind of lockout, like classic, yeah, 5 bases or 4 bases. I can see him take, very compact. 3rd base over here, this one, and then 4th base, or maybe the other way around. Maybe you can take this one, but then it's gonna be difficult, like you cannot take this one, it's too close to your opponent. We're gonna try to take this one, that's gonna be tough to defend because it's so far away. It doesn't have warp in, or warp gates, remember. You might want to play, if this goes to a long game, you might want to have those robos. The robo defenses you see a lot in Brood War. We just have a robo making reavers and just sit down there. I think, I'm not actually sure, I think a reaver does cost 4 supply. So they're not the cheapest unit, maybe like a couple gates are just the better option in this situation. Like the Templar, Ice Storm sitting down there. We do have the Stargate come up here. Stargate opening into a forge. Very interesting opening. We've seen the Stargate opening quite a bit. And it basically keeps you safe from Ling and Baneling busts, I think. It also does encourage the Zerg players to go for a ground-based composition over Mutas. And I think if you just don't open Stargate, your opponent goes Mutas and you die. A very famous caster back in the day, like literally old school days, used to say, why do you make Phoenix in StarCraft 2? The idea is not to kill your opponent, the idea is to discourage the Zerg from making Mutas. And this is kind of the same idea. You have the Stargate, so you have the option to go for Corsairs, but you will most likely see scout openings, just because they are basically what like they are there to harass. Even though it sounds funny, but you can send them to harass. You can use them to kill overlords. You can use them to defend your 3rd base, which you're gonna try to take very fast. And yeah, the scout is kind of the oracle of SC2, even though it doesn't. I guess it's more the Void Ray, right? That makes sense, but it doesn't have that much damage against buildings. Oh, that drone is like super aggro. It's hiding in the bush. Oh, I got that thing got decapitated, decapitated, beheaded. Hello, Sheep Battery, good to see you. Circling's trying to come in here. 2nd scout though, he's gonna be ready. I wonder when he's gonna try to push out to take the 3rd base. We do see the Citadel finishing up here, so he should get into his legs very soon. Might throw down the Templar Archives even first. They don't have miss under doodads. Well, not under doodads, yeah. But they do have miss in these. Oh wow. Oh no. Uh-oh. Oh bo. Bobo, oh bo. Oh bro, bobo. They do have mischance to high ground in this mod, and they do have mischance under in these vision blockers, if they're standing inside those. So yeah, SC EVO does introduce mischance to the game, and it's the same. I think it's 50%, yeah. Should be the same, right? Is it only 30% in Brood War? I can't remember. Should be 50%. But yeah, of course, does not or should not apply to air units. I was talking about this in an earlier map between these two. I wonder, like these bushes, right? You can stand in these side blockers. I wonder how these operate with air units. Was that even a side blocker? I think I saw one, right? Oh, here they are, in kind of the center of the map, so it should be over here somewhere. Oh, there we go. So I wonder how that works with air to ground. Oh, he gets the Overlord trying to morph into an Overseer. Man, these scouts kill those things fast! Oh, he's gonna lose 1 scout though! No, bro! Don't lose them! So Classic is gonna lose 1 scout here. Does kill 5 Overlords or something though. Ridiculous here. Wow. That was a lot of damage, and that's a very hefty supply block here. 7 overloads on the way at the same time for Rung. There's 700 minerals, 500 got killed off right now. That could have been 2 hatcheries right now, in this second. It could have been 2 hatcheries going down. A double expand. Scout is gonna come back and gonna try to shoo away these links. So Classic went up into his full production first. Got up all the tech he wanted, so he goes into the amulets next here, 50 energy maximum and 25 starting energy, meaning spawning with 75 energy to instantly storm. And of course the storm hits a little bit harder than the SC2 storm. 112 energy, sorry, damage. Oh, it's the Gewitter time. Scout is still scouting around, no pun intended. But yeah, man, remember when those 5 overlords died? That's the moment when you wanted to throw down the hatchery. So this is super, super late. 3rd base, or 4th base I should say, coming in for Shin, extremely late. He's going into his +1 missile. He just added a 2nd evolution chamber as well, which should start carapace. There it is. Oh, he actually starts link damage. Okay, that makes sense as well. And a Dark Templar is going across the map. Remember, these are the Brood War Dark Templars, so they're actually a little bit more beefy. They have a lot more health, and they have 5 more damage, so they are very, very formidable. Oh, he actually made a bunch of them. And there's no detection over here, Ragnarok. Overlords don't detect anymore. There's no spores, because it's only a scout, right? You got queens. He does actually have a spore here in this base, but that base doesn't have a spore, and it might go down to DTs only. We also do a little bit of a skirmish here. That doesn't change too much. Oh, did he see the drop overloads? I think he should have. Man, these DTs are killing so much. Finally, Overseer finishing up here. DTs are gonna get killed off. What a crazy DT run in here. Now we're gonna see Baneling drops and a mass drop to the bottom side. That's gonna be Ling Hydra. I don't think Baneling's speed is done yet. Let's do a quick check. No, he doesn't even have it on the way, which is also kind of an interesting concept. Getting the Baneling nest and going into Banelings, but no Baneling speed. I hope that he notices this, because you don't want to have those guys walk. Because you're gonna fight the storms, right? You don't want to walk through a storm. I don't think you can, literally. Oh, he actually already has some drop defense. Templars just did pop in here. This could be the worst moment for the drop. Honestly, there's a big engage though on the north, and look at that storm. I was saying this, the Banes just walking through the storm shouldn't be doable, and they don't really get out. We do see the drop now on top of the army. That's crazy, but again, this is why, because you just throw down 1 storm, and that's sometimes all you need. Oh my god, that's so much damage. Oh, crazy shit. That's so much damage. Okay, so that guy did die, but he took basically the army with him. I wonder what the Zealots are trying to do against these overloads here. A guard in the goon, I guess. Brood was about 50%, yeah. It's probably like 51 or something. Weird number. Now we do have Maelstrom coming, and the Dark Archon has to get ready here eventually. Maelstrom, of course, gonna be super, super powerful against any Zerg composition, because everything is biological. And it just does force everything biological in place. Now Baneling speed is gonna finish up here just before the storm hits. So the Banelings will get through and get some good connections there on these Zealots, but this is looking good so far here. Like, Classic is able to hold this high ground. He has a couple Dark Templars in the mix as well. He's gonna make the Dark Archon now, but of course the Archon is not gonna have, he's starting with 50 energy, so that's gonna be a while before he can actually cast that ability. Which is going to cost 75. Oh, that's actually not that much. I thought it was 100. So the Maelstrom is going to be ready for the next big fight, I feel like. And, well, sometimes all you need is a good Maelstrom and a good Storm. On top of that, if you can get that going, you can decimate half of the army or something absurd like that. potentially. So let's see how that engage is gonna happen. Infestation pit on the way here for Ragnarok, and Ragnarok kept on expanding behind all of his pressure. He has this base on the way, this way is to just finish up. This is mining finally, properly set up. He's starting to get the gas geysers. As we can see, the gas is really low, and I feel like he was a little bit too preoccupied in trying to attack and get a good attack going, rather than setting up his macro machinery there and his actual resource income properly. Now these rocks did get killed off and knocked down, but they're not gonna be there for the next fight. In the meantime though, we do see an attack here on the Zerg army that Dark Archon is kind of funnily blocking right now. Yeah man, Banes don't do anything to this dude. And he's just gonna walk into the shield battery, he's gonna get healed up right back again. Of course he has no attack, so it's kind of funny, it's like a big tank. Are we gonna see a Maelstrom? Oh shit, he catches 2 links, I can't believe it. I think he overestimated the ability a little bit there. And the Archon is gonna fall! Ah! Oh no. Can Classic stabilize this? There's a wall of zealots. Oh, they don't have an icon, that's fun. It'll change the screen. Let's placeholder. Whoa. Okay, so he holds this, but wow. The trades are very efficient here for Classic, and he is setting up a 4th base, so if he can get this up and running, and Ragnarok is not gonna stop it, then this game could go on for a long while. But Ragnarok is like himself, he finished up this base now, is running with that, he's finished this one, he's starting to mine here as well. Yeah, he's got the monies. He's got 93 drones. He's mining so much right now. Should probably get 1 more gas geyser or 2 or something. And man, he's getting adrenaline, he's getting +1 carapace. He already has 2/2 on the weapons. We're gonna see a zealot drop. I was kind of hoping for a storm drop. That's not gonna happen. Ragnarok finally kind of scouting this base here. The overlords have to turn around because this is actually very fortified, so difficult to break into. No gate walls or anything like that though. Are we gonna see a crazy storm? We do see one, but they don't actually hit that well. 9 kills, I guess, is pretty sick. That's what happens if you try to drop in or run in with only links. Now there's gonna be the zealot drop, and oh, the Templar! Oh, he gets all of them! He gets all 6, and they had so much energy. Oh no! This might be the base! Ragnarok, what a move! Classic is gonna reinforce here with enough High Templars there. He's actually storming his own zealots quite a bit there. Needs to be careful, doesn't want to lose his own units too much. But that was a very good attack here by Ragnarok. Probably a lot of value going into his pockets there. We do see a few links here trying again for a run by, but it's like they're going into the basketball tryouts, but they only have like half a hand or something to play with. They're just not finding an entry. They only have like half a finger to throw the ball. Oh, and this is when all of the fingers do get cut off the hand here. By Storm. Dr. Storm. Who is the guy? Who did kill all of them? Mr. 14? 9300. I guess 14, yeah. So again, it's gonna be a zealot drop here into the main base, which is not bad, of course, but this time we do see the Hydras already in position here. The main tech is at the natural though. So Shin is someone who likes to do this a lot. You see this in his play, and in his normal SC2 play as well. He kind of randomizes position of his tech structures a little bit. As you can see, there's a infestation pit here, spawning pool, and an evolution chamber. And then you have the layer, or the hive I should say, yeah, the natural, the lurker den, the baneling nest, and the hydra nest. And that's about it, right? So he kind of swaps between the main and the natural where he puts things. Sometimes even the third base. We do see a Reaver production now. That could be amazing here. Another Dark Archon. I don't hate this at all. I think Reavers would be even better than the Storms here in this position, but of course Storms... Oh, can you get the Arc? Oh, they can't touch the Banes. in between the High Templars and they cannot touch hands. So they will fall without becoming an Archon. Oh man, is he gonna lose 10 Templars again just walking into Lurker Spines? Is this gonna happen really? I hope not. Oh, he might abandon this position. We are gonna see a Nidus now as well. There's still a draw. Oh, it's a Nidus actually here into the main base of Classic. Already set up and complete here, ready to go. Hydra's spilling out. That's a bad storm here. No detection, it seems like, for Classic. Again, he misses another storm there, and more units are accumulating here in the main base. Is he gonna lose all of the tech in the production? That's kind of a kill move. That's a KO move here. We do see the army coming back here. A lot of storms, and man, that Ling is blocking these. Damn, the Reavers, and then the Reaver just die to the Lurker Spines. Wow. We'll keep this third base here, it seems like. Dark Archon is trying to get its best damage going, but yeah, he's not able to do so. The fourth base is still quite nicely defended here, but that main base and the tech stuff is going down. I feel like having a good spread of cannons in the main base would have been key against these drops. He had, for the first drop, he had a really good defense standing there. But the second, like the Nidus Canal, that just didn't. And yeah, it doesn't matter how many cannons you have if you have no pylons, it seems like. Artosis, where are you? There's still one lurker. You're shooting down the Robo. Oh, you kind of want to avoid that one, but I'm afraid you don't have the vision. There's the Observer. Okay, so he does stay alive there, but it's a technicality because he loses all the bases, it seems like. He does punch out one of the bases from Ragnarok. It's like a punch card. He throws it in. It says -1 base, Zerg. So he uses that. Let's see if he has another trap card that he can activate or something. Because Ragnarok doesn't seem to be slowing down. He's gonna immediately throw down another base here on the left side, on the opposite side, where he killed the base of his opponent, basically close to that one. And yeah, you can see how dire the situation is. 54 probes out of 12 on this one base. But that's actually really rough, because he has nothing. Like, you need to go long distance mine from this patch with at least 20. Yeah, there you go. He's actually gonna do that. I like this choice. I feel like that's the only choice. But this is where I was kind of trying to go onto. It's gonna be difficult for the pros to ever stretch beyond 4 bases. And Shin is displaying this here beautifully. How to punch down the Protoss bases. Now we do have a very... Oh god! What am I seeing? Oh! Oh! And we have a very storm-heavy composition here. And one Dark Archon again. He has one more Maelstrom, so could be doing some good things with that. 3/3/3 upgrades for the Zerg. It's like he used triple EVO, although he didn't. Man. Cracklings versus this. These are 3/3 cracklings, right? They're even. This is like the best you can have. I think the only thing that would be better than these is the Brood Warlings, because they have even more damage. There's another Maelstrom. Unfortunately, doesn't really hit the mark. He has one more in the pocket. But man, just Lurkers shoving in right now here. Cutting off the new base from the defenses. And if he just gets down there and kills that base, that's gonna be GG. The Reaver, the Storms, they all have to say a word about this though. The Classic is not gonna go down without a fight here. But it seems like his team is running low. Even though he has a bit of money in the bank, he's basically out of production. I mean, he's making 2 gateways right now because he only has 2. Can't really make anything. And yeah, that's why you see him spike up in the money, because he has no tech, he has no production. I think he's making 4 Reavers right now. Oh, he just made like a bunch of additional robos. That's so funny. He's making 4 Reavers. Reaver Zealot. Okay, can he manage to bring that back? The issue though is Reaver shots do cost money, and that's the thing, he doesn't have money. The Archon is gonna try to run on top of the Lurkers to dislocate the spine shots a little bit. Another gateway is gonna fall here. And without that gateway army to tank without the storms coming in here to support. As you can see, the Reavers, the robo units, they're not gonna be enough to keep up the chance of Classic in winning this game here. So far I think we have no Brood War race win the game. GG is called. Shin is gonna take the second, so we're looking at 2-2 here right now. And we will go into map number 5. I appreciate Classic picking purple in that one. Shin went back to Ragnarok. Yeah, I don't know. I need to ask him actually. I'm gonna ask him in the next... he's still in RSL, right? When he next time plays... Oh, I need to set up the RSL video groups. I'm gonna do that after this game. I'm gonna ask him next time I see him. I'm gonna ask him because he was using that in RSL as well, so maybe he actually is. I don't know. I liked Ragnarok as an ID. I think it's a cool ID. And I didn't hate Shin as an ID. I mean, that's his name, right? I don't like him jumping back and forth. Stick with one, please. I know why he jumped to Shin, his real name, right? And it was because he... his parents came to the GSL finals when he met Maru and got bopped. And they didn't know he was called Ragnarok, so he named himself Shin, which is his name basically. But after that, he didn't have a GSL finals anymore. Ooh, okay. Now, I know that he is also using it in RSL, so he's not only using it in SEL. I know that for a fact. I am forcing his name as Shin currently in the RSL. So if you've watched those games, you've seen the name Shin, but it's the mod that I'm using, which I made, and it basically comes down to what I put into the code line, which will ever show the name. So cross position Vimir could have been better here. Could it have been better here for the final map? Maybe I would have loved to see Brood War Protoss over SC2 Protoss, just because I'm so sick of Oracles. Like, so sick. Can we get something else? And Adepts, honestly. We need to kind of remove these two units from the game and do something fresh with Protoss. I don't know. Give them the Dark Archon. Like, they have waited long enough, right? But we do have the Brood War Zerg. That means we will get Hydralisks, and we will get a lot of those. We could get, actually, I want to see like a hyper-aggressive Muter playstyle and just mass Muter. He's playing cross. That means there's the opportunity to kind of set up a lot of bases, a lot of gas. And honestly, there is no air-to-air AoE for Classic. He could go into Phoenix with range, of course. And there's Archons. But the Archons, they only have 3 range. The Mutas have 5. And Phoenix, even Phoenix, do only spawn with 5 range. So a 6 against 5 range for the Phoenix would be kind of like the old Muta against... Oh, that would be the old Muta against Phoenix matchup before Phoenix range was introduced. Because Phoenix range got in, I think, in Heart of the Swarm, maybe at the end of Heart of the Swarm. And yeah, like remember when the Tempest was introduced as a counter to Muta specifically? Yeah, do you? I do. And then they completely went a very wrong way with that. Oh, sorry, different way with that. Now, where what are they going to do? So I wanted to say that basically it comes down a lot to micro, even if you have range with the Phoenix, you can still really die to the Mutas. And of course, you don't have to be that stubborn and just make a Mutas as the Muta player. You can get Ensnare. So the Zerg StarCraft Brood War has a tool to deal with a mass Phoenix Armada. Like you can get Ensnare or you can get Plague, I guess, right? You could get that and then it would be really like Icarus and the Sun. Now in this game we're gonna see a Phoenix opening after that Oracle. Only one Oracle if I see it. No, he made 2 Oracles. Okay, there we go. And we only see a Spore defense here, so it's very interesting that Ragnarok does do this. He does go for a late Hydralisk then, and goes for an early Evolution Chamber, gets an upgrade and throws down his Spores. He makes a full wall, and I guess he kills the Evolution Chamber after he gets the upgrade completed, right? Killing lava with the depths, of course, is very strong. Because the lava, I think they're light. Yeah, they're light and biological, even though they have like, they don't have the armor, but the X, they have like 1,000 armor. Unfortunately, in this interface, you cannot see if anything is producing. You cannot see the armor and damage values anymore, but at least you can see them for these guys. 0 armor on the Overlord, even though it's armored. That's kind of funny. Let's have a look at the Spore damage here. So Oracles are helping the Lynx here and trying to clear this structure. I guess they're shooting at the Lynx. We have a 0.6 weapon speed and 15 damage. I think it's just a weapon speed that's so high. It's like a Marine shooting at an Oracle. A Marine with 8 range and 15 damage per shot. Think about that, that's kind of crazy. Oh, did he miss the Spire? No, he catches it. That's a good tag. But yeah, the attack speed is basically a Marine. Without stim, but it's a Marine. Attack speed is like 0.6 or something. It's pretty good. Now this is a very ill-fated attack here by Ragnarok. That's a lot of good trading here for Classic. Nice positioning there. The shield battery just in time to heal up the units. I don't think he lost anything there. Look at that. Only 2 probes so far. For whoa. That's almost a perfect game here. And there's the Panda Bear guy. He will finally catch a few units here. But this is so expensive trading right now. We lost 1,000 resources to 200 or 300. Yeah, look at that, man. It's insane. If he can get rid of these air units, that would be great for him. He would have liked to use the Spire, but he's just having it for now. He just has it. He makes actually an upgrade, which is signaling to me that he wants to make a bunch of meters. Probably if he can catch that Phoenix once, he's gonna go into a bunch of meters. And he sees his only one Phoenix. It also might be the moment or the idea that kind of prompts him to do this. Now one Hydra is gonna get picked up there. So 3 are not gonna be enough to kill these Oracles. And only Lynx reinforcing here. We have a few Hydras. It's gonna be a little bit of a push, but I think there's enough Zealot Archon that should be fine to deal with this. Especially if he tries to run into this wall. Can he get through though? Oh god, no he can. There's gotta be a force field though, that's nice. Cutting off the rest of the reinforcements. But already a bunch of units inside the main base here. Killing some probes. So the past couple minutes have been looking amazing here for Ragnarok. And he is actually tearing down the wall. Look at the damage those guys do. +1 Lynx. 0.4 attack speed. 6 damage. Now imagine they have 2 more upgrades, would be 8 damage, and then what? Adrenal? How crazy do they go down? Like 0. I don't know, 3.5 or something? Crazy? I think it's 20% even or something. It's maybe even a little bit more. What, like, it's so insane. It'd be like 0.3 or so attack speed. It's insane. Like 3 times per second with 8 damage. Crazy. Yeah, they actually crack Lynx. They'll freaking crack. It's basically how many times you would press a button, I don't know, to try to make a Nexus if you're freaking on crack. But this time we do see the meters actually poke out the Phoenix here. Can he get the Templar Archives? That would be a really good pick-off. And so far, Ragnarok is looking in control of the game, but then Classic comes for a counterattack and he has the recall. Don't forget that this is a tool that he has at his disposal. If he thinks he has killed enough and then just needs to go back and defend, he's gonna utilize that. No problem. If he can catch these mutas though, is this just gonna be a base trade? He has so many zealots. Let's have a look at the actual units here, the army. So he has a bunch of high templars, very high stacked on energy. There's a nice stasis trap. There's that recall that I was talking about. He's gonna try to save the third base, and yeah, this is so well defended with structures already that he just decided to say, okay, we're going to utilize that. Now, the unfortunate thing here for Shin is that his army, even though it roamed the bases and it was kind of ready for the base raid, it didn't kill the actual Nexi. And I feel like that might just be it. But Classic is not reproducing anything right now, even though I feel like he should. He's just going to make another cannon. He should probably try to make some probes, right? Just gonna make a few more cannons. He has High Templar waiting. This is like one of those games where he wishes he could make Dark Archons. That's so many mutas. I mean, if he had one Dark Archon to control all of them, right? 21 mutas. We're gonna get a snipe again here on the pylon, so sorry 3 gates, you're not gonna be operating for any time soon. Templar Archives is gonna get picked off. That's a very crucial piece of tech. And again, a little bit of a base rate here. So Ragnarok always going for the base rate, it seems here. He did try to re-drone, and he has a few units at home. And he has a couple of Sunkens, but that doesn't seem to be enough. There's so many mutas though across the map, and he's starting to finally kill down these bases. Can he actually win a base race? That would be crazy. It does kill the pylon. You want to move away from the gates. They don't really do anything as long as you can kill the Cybernetic score. They can't even, and he already killed the Templar Archives. It's like Zealots, right? You can kind of handle Zealots with mutas eventually. Now he's gonna bring back the mutas. I don't like this choice. He should have killed the Stargate and probably the Nexus with the mutas first before coming back. He's probably thinking like, if I can grab this army. And he's already trying to spread out the mutas, but no, this is not how you spread them correctly. An ocean of dead muta bodies. That was 5 mutas, I think. They don't show, unfortunately. 7 mutas even. There you go. And then he's gonna recall. See, like that's such an effortless move from Classic. I mean, it's well calculated, but it is really effortless. And now he's here, and now you run into the same issue as Ragnarok. You nicely stacked up mutas are gonna run into the same storm Archon composition. Now he can't attack this base, it's fortified, and the other one is gonna be roamed with the army, so he will get up his production again and all that kind of stuff. Now kill what you can, kill these gates, I guess. And retake your own bases, but Ragnarok is almost out of money. He is on the main. He will kill these gateways. But yeah. He's gonna transfer a few of the probes or drones. Still had some. Oh. Man, so he's trying to muta macro his way out of this. And again, as Classic, I think you're sitting here and you're just wishing upon a black star, then you will get a Dark Templar. Man! Sorry, not Dark Templar. Dark Arc. Oh god, no! Mutas! Mutas! He's finally getting the luck upgrade here. But he definitely overcommitted to the mutas. Even though I said I wanted to say mass muta play, yeah, this is not what I meant, right? I wanted to say like a big macro game with a lot of mutas. Not like a super scrappy game. I guess this is how it goes. If you go for mass muta, is that you just keep on base trading. But I feel like a lot of small mistakes that happen in the base trades here. And those do benefit Classic. Now, the game doesn't have to end. If Classic doesn't push, Ragnarok, of course, gets a chance to come back himself as well. And if he can pick up a few workers, well, who knows what the cards may hold for him in the future. Meters kind of starting to diminish in return. They did have their day and they're gonna bleed out eventually very slowly here. Classic's just re-expanding to his natural. There's still a lot of money to be mined. So that's definitely a nice base that he's gonna take for himself. It's way lower for Ragnarok in comparison, but it's not bad yet. Still has a bunch of money, and he does take a third base finally as well again. Mutus is still roaming around here. And he just checked the fourth base, like, man, do you have a fourth? Let me see. Nope. Okay, let's go back. There was actually an opening where it could have gone in. And remember, there is no Temple Archives right now, there's no Robo, so any unity kills is permanent until those things are back up again. And we do see that from Classic actually, who is not really spending that efficiently right now. He's prioritizing on getting the tech out rather than having maximum amount of units. Now this time he knows about the meter, so he's immediately gonna fortify that situation over there. And that's a bunch of locker eggs. Back and forth, where do you want to go? A lot of energy stacked up here for Classic. So like, so much energy right now. Both players have been basically sitting back for the past 3 minutes. Now Phoenix are gonna go across the map, are gonna start to harass. Same does stand true here for the meters. And you never know, right? With Zerg, you never know if they might go back into... Oh my god, those lurkers! This could be huge! Maybe a fatal attack from Classic into the lurker spines, but I guess fortunately enough he does survive. So I want to see the lurkers a little bit more spread, but there's no time for it. The storms do come down though, and they're gonna rain pain on those guys. Wow, that was a lot of help. Getting killed off here. Nice storm there, it's gonna kill 3 more lurkers. And on the top as well, that's gonna get 1 more lurker killed. Most of the units are gonna fall here. Oh wow. Can Classic this time keep on pushing through? GG is gonna be called and Ragnarok just leave the game, so Classic is gonna take it. GG, well played.